up? What up? Hey, what's up? This is a special episode of the C-List Villains podcast. Cultivators of the comic culture. Right now, the guys are running late, but our special guest, his time is valuable, so I can't keep him waiting any longer. I'll just have to wait for the guys to come on and then just jump on when they can. All right, so my guest tonight, the very sexy, the very tight Mr. John Giang. What's up, buddy?
Yo, what's up? What's up? How you guys doing?
Hanging
Thanks
in
for
there,
having me on
man.
again.
Hey, how are you? How's the earthquake on your side of the bay?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I felt it a little bit. It wasn't yeah, for uh for people in the next room, they were like, "Well, we didn't feel a thing." And I was like, "My toys are rattling all over the place. What are you guys talking about?" But yeah, it wasn't too bad. How about for you?
I felt the roll, but I was in the middle of doing some paperwork, but yeah, I just felt my little wheelchair on wheels just roll a bit forward and nothing more. I mean, it wasn't like a
Well, that's good.
jolt when I was living down in SoCal, but this one was significant enough to get my attention. I thought I was having
Yeah.
a bowel movement.
What's
I was
that?
having a bowel movement, man. I thought I was having some crazy gas, but yeah, it was an earthquake. 5.1.
It was a rumbler. It was a rumbler.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. It was nice to know that we were reminded that we live in California and we live on the fault line,
Yeah.
right in the middle of the Pacific
Actually,
Rim.
I actually felt one about 2 weeks ago too. So it was yeah, they're real. They're real, but knock on wood, they're not too bad yet. But again,
Yeah,
I
no,
probably
not.
just jinxed it.
No, we're good. I mean, we've been good since I guess '89, or there was another one between that. There's a few here and there, but not as worse as the one we experienced back in '89, which was during Battle of the Bay.
Yeah. I wasn't here though. I was watching it, but I wasn't here. I was in the
You
Midwest then.
that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
were you I guess rooting for a certain team, or you had no horse in the race?
At the time, no horse in the race, but obviously now I side with one team more
Only
than another.
only basketball, right?
Of course, of course.
Nice. Well, looks like the chat's already popping. We got Chop and Drop in the house saying
Chop and
Jang
drop, what's
Gang.
up? What's up?
Ashton's here. He said
Yo,
he got the
Ashton.
first Marvel drop, which was your very salacious Miles Morales. Very detailed.
Well,
Very detailed.
you guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. You'll be surprised by the one that actually ends up in print. So let's see what happens.
There's more to come. More to come. Well, yeah, NDA face.
You
Let's
guys,
just
how
more
do I
to come.
how do I say you guys talk too much online?
just keep quiet. It's like, right. Just give me that stare, like, dude. You're just, I can't say anything. So we're here. I guess we're you have something to reveal to us today, or actually let's go with a small talk first. How was Cowtown and hanging out with BTC and Nico Suyan?
It was good. It was good. It was it, it was a good sort of like smaller show, tiny show, and things like that. But everyone was super friendly, super nice, and it was just it was a nice little. I don't get to hang out with the BTC folks all too much,
Mm-hmm.
so BTC fam. So to be able to do that was a nice opportunity.
You got to meet John,
John.
the one of the BTC guy, the one that thick portly Filipino guy, kind of funny.
Oh yeah. I've met John before.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And
I
did
met John
did,
before.
did you and Miko collaborate on much, or you just see each other, give each other high fives?
Yeah, we did our little glare stares at each other, and sexy looks and things like that. You know what I mean?
Nice. I mean, it's such a small booth, and it can barely contain all that hot.
We were like 30 feet away from each other. It was a huge booth actually.
Okay. Just slanging comics and remarks, right? And signatures.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice, very nice. Let's see what did Ashton say. He was very conflicted over getting it though. Why would you be conflicted about getting a John Jang Marvel piece?
The
Like,
first one too.
yeah, the very first one. And you also dropped another one today, which was the DC comic one. I think I forgot what was the title. It was
It
there
was
was
the Lazarus Planet.
the Lazarus Planet, which was Robin's title that he's in a special mech suit.
Yeah, it was Cyborg actually. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, very nice.
yeah.
Now, were you able to do a little back and forth with the guys at DC or the about that idea, or there's already something in the book?
Um, it was a I talked to the editor, and the editor had an idea, and but they've been really great about just like letting me run with it and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's been great, working with them because they're at this point in time, I haven't like burnt all my trust, and they have a lot of trust in me, and they just let me kind of like do my thing and stuff. So it's great. It's a great collaboration.
So are you getting a lot more of creative freedom between the two comic giants right now, or there's still constraints within your line of work?
Uh, you know, I think I think anytime you're not doing anything from my opinion, I think and often the case with a lot of all the publishers, as long as you're not doing anything too offending to the property and things like that, like um certain angles and things like that I seem to be able to find a way to employ.
Right.
They give us a lot of trust and stuff like that. So
Yeah, because I remember seeing another artist who did Department of Truth, which his cover got rejected because of the subject matter, and seeing now Department of Truth is the one that was really more, I guess, controversial as far as like having those covers. I would think that this would pass with the publisher, but I take it that
well, and I don't know which Department of Truth cover you were talking about, but I believe it was one that had something to do with some copyright issues and things like that.
oh,
So
okay.
that's a different story. That's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's one of the reasons why, for a good example, is like why whenever we see the Akira bike as a
Yeah,
toy and all those things now, we don't see it like it was in the original animation that had like the Canon camera sticker on it and things like that, because they don't necessarily want the Canon brand doesn't want to be associated with, not to say that it's bad, with the Akira movie or
right. Yeah,
yeah,
I think there was
things
two
like
then.
that.
I think there was one by a certain store, and then the another one by another artist where it had a lot of current events drawn onto it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. I can't remember the artist at the moment, but they'll come to me. Then I'll send it to you on messenger.
Which is ironic because it feels like Department of Truth is all about that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And maybe it was meant to trigger the other side. That's what I'm trying. That's what they're trying
Right,
to convey with that drawing.
right.
What's up, John?
Yo, E-Man, what's up?
Going by the guy who planned this out.
I feel like such a special guest that E-Man came late for me. I love it.
It's called Filipino time, man. We show up when we show up.
Hey, I was painting, okay, so I came in like 5 minutes right before the bell rang.
Poor Red. I bet you he's like, well, where's AJ? Where's Luke? Where's
these
E-Man?
guys?
And he was like, he was basically ignoring me the whole time. We were backstage.
My alternate ego, Jason Mamone decided to come in a little bit later today. I had to make an appearance on this show.
That's true. That's true.
I gotta make sure his hair was nice.
Oh no, I put it up in a bun today because I was working. So I'm actually working out in the city again, John.
Oh, nice.
No one needs to know anything about where John's whereabouts are. But I'm in the city now, John.
You felt the earthquake.
Yeah. There was an earthquake today out here in California. For those who don't know, I'm pretty sure Rob from Rob's Fat Stacks felt it. I know I felt it. John, did you feel it today?
We did feel it. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't too bad, but my toys were rattling around a little bit, and I was like, "Is anybody like feeling that?" And people were like, "What?"
It went
like,
on
in
for
the
a
next
minute too, huh? It went on
It
for
wasn't a minute. It was a nice jolt.
no, it wasn't a jolt over here. It was rocking for a good 10, 15 seconds. Like it wouldn't stop. You're like, well, wait a minute, it's going.
It
That's
felt
how I
like
felt.
more like it felt like for me here,
Uh-huh.
like about 5 seconds.
5, yeah. For me, it felt like 10. Because for me, it was all visual too. Because I actually had someone walk in front of my office, like pushing a cart full of like equipment. I'm like, oh, it's probably them. It's probably them. What the hell? Why is it still going? and then
3 years in eternity.
And then my coworker, you're like, all I see is his head just poking. Hey, did you feel that? And then I jump on Twitter right away, like, was that an earthquake? All I see is earthquake.
This is a good indication of how well prepared us Californians are in case of earthquakes, right? We're just kind of like, did you feel it?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you feel it? And the first thing we do is go, let's get on Twitter about it.
let's stop in case this is an emergency. Let's go online on social media to verify if we should really be running outside the building.
We didn't ask if anyone was okay. We just jumped straight to Twitter.
That's exactly how it is. You just jump straight to Twitter during an earthquake. Look, Rob from Rob's Fat Stacks is actually in San Jose, and he's like, it was only a 5. Yeah, it was only a 5. True.
And then we probably didn't even like to verify. We didn't go to like a seismic, scientific site or something. We went to Twitter to see if it was.
You're supposed to go to like usgs.gov, right? And take a look at, we verified. No, you do the one thing you're not supposed to do. That's jump on social media. What if it really was
the
like
very first thing
a
you need to do
major
was leave the building?
6? What if it was like a 6.5, right? Oh, that's good.
If it was bad enough to knock out the internet, we wouldn't be able to verify that it was an earthquake. So you know what I mean? So
that's very true. That's very true. If you go online during a major earthquake and you're not getting any reception, it's probably an earthquake.
If you can verify it on Twitter, it didn't happen.
It wasn't strong enough. It wasn't strong. Look, Herbs woke me up from my nap. Worst part, I ignored mom's call checking if I was okay. Ay, con razón, ya se murió. No, pobrecito. My son is dead. He's not picking up. You know what? That's funny how Rob says that. That's the second time I've heard of this. So if anyone's got like these notifications, some people were actually getting notified before the earthquake hit. Mimi, my girlfriend, her coworker was like, hey, I'm getting an alarm here on my phone, on her iWatch, on her Apple Watch. She's like, we're supposed to get hit by an earthquake. And then all of a sudden it happened. She goes, oh, there it is. Like there's this new technology that tells you if there's one coming, which is crazy.
I wonder if it's enough where the seismic event happens, but it's like radiating out. So you may like it's indicated already, but where you are, it hasn't actually got to you yet, right?
Because it hits us in waves, right?
Right.
It starts at the epicenter and then it goes out.
Right.
So it does take some time before it hits you. And I believe like an earthquake, when it actually happens from the center to where it hits you, it moves like at the speed of sound, I believe. Like
this also indicates how like people who don't live in California also are like, they'll be like, did you feel that earthquake? And you're like, Mom, that was in LA, right?
Yeah, that's right. You're up here in San Francisco, and then there's an earthquake down here in LA, which is 350 miles away. And then you get all these relatives. Hey, I heard about the earthquake. Is everything okay?
Are you okay?
I got relatives from the Philippines. Oh, John, everything okay? I heard about the earthquake. Is everything okay? Did you guys? Anything pulled down, man?
What is your Filipino accent sound Mexican?
Does it?
Yeah, dude, that's a weird like gangster Mexican Filipino drug lord sort of thing going on. Not to say I'm categorizing or any of that.
John Jiang, everyone. John Jiang. That's our friend right there. There you go.
Oh, big news today. You did confirm that you'll be at Fan Expo San Francisco.
What's that?
According to your posts.
Yes, I will be at San Francisco. Fan Expo San Francisco.
Yay.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. I
That's
didn't know if
such
that
a
was
long
news
way
or
from
not.
where
Was
you
that,
live.
was
I
that
bet.
news?
I can only imagine like how many bus stops you may need to take to get to Moscone Center from where you live. That's a
Far
far
stop.
drive, man.
Yeah, that's like a that's like a you know, an earthquake away sort of thing.
So can you tell us a little bit more about like the setup at Fat Expo for you? Because I know typically when you've gone to some of the events, you know, you have BTC sponsoring you, you'd have like, you know, Comic Mid or whoever, like all these shops are saying, hey John, you know, come and hang out. Can you give us a little more detail about what's happening at SF Expo with you?
I'm gonna be a guest of the show. So normally the way it goes is that, you know, either several scenarios happen. You're going and you signed up and you're paying for a table and you're gonna go, you know, all that sort of stuff. Or you're gonna be a guest of a shop, and a shop is gonna have you come out and, you know, and that sort of thing. Or you're gonna be a guest of the show, and in this case, I'll be a guest of the show, and that sort of thing. So um, it's gonna be the first big sort of semi-big con in San Francisco in a very long time.
Mhm.
WonderCon.
You guys have heard all my sort of like beefs with. I guess I don't necessarily want to like trudge up any like heat
Don't
or
do it.
anything like that, but you know,
Not on
but
this
like,
show.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, well. I get you, dude. I get you.
I'm
But
just gonna say that, you know, it's I just it's a missed opportunity in my opinion that the city and the Moscone Center does not support things like this as much as they should. We had basically Comic Con Junior up here for a very long time, which was WonderCon,
WonderCon, that's right.
and for Comic Con International to not be able to, you know, exist here is it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? That's
Well,
so.
keep in mind too, Moscone Center has been under renovation for so many years. You know, it was just almost practically torn down and rebuilt from the ground up.
Yes, but you know, at the same time, Apple World and you know GDCs of the world and you
Salesforce,
know all
Dreamforce.
Salesforce, Dreamforce,
Yeah.
all those conventions have been going on. You know,
Well, the Worldwide Developer Conference moved down to Santa Clara. Like it's no longer in San Francisco.
okay,
And
yeah.
then, and I do know that Dreamforce is still in the city. But yeah, there's a lot of places that have left San Francisco because it's just like you said, it's just not being supported enough. But I guess San Francisco is now starting to ramp up. It's starting to open up. You know, it's good to see that they're bringing SF Fan Expo, and hopefully this is like the first in a long line of more annual events that we're going to get here in the
I
Bay
think
Area.
the last convention they had over there was a Walker Stalker back in 2017 or 16. And
The Walker Stalker was actually like at Fort Mason.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
I think and you know, and that's the thing is that whatever it is, I think there's a strong creative and grassroots movement and innovative movement that's always been here in the Bay Area, and you know that needs to be supported. You know, and there's definitely a nerd culture.
Oh
as you guys
God,
know.
They're seeing it. They're seeing it at Silicon Valley Comic Con. That's what they're seeing it, bro. And it's like, why are they getting all these anime conventions and Silicon Valley Comic Con there and not in the heart of the
That's true. There's been like Crunchyroll and anime has been going on for years in San Jose. Like that hasn't slowed down. Silicon has been going on for years. It hasn't slowed down.
Anime in Sacramento.
And like I said too, I think that, you know, and I don't know all the ins and outs, obviously, with everything that had happened with, you know, Comic Con International and all of those things in the city of San Francisco. But, you know, the fact that it was their smaller show that was up here. And when we say smaller show, like in the grand scheme of things, that's a pretty big show. Do you know what I mean? And when that year that it left, they had, I think it was like Robert Downey Jr. I think the year before that they had Christian Bale and things like that. So it's like you could tell it was gaining steam and all those things. And just like Comic-Con International, just like the Comic-Con show down in San Diego, it took time to cultivate all of that, and the city has now embraced it, and it's a citywide event, as we all know, down there. You know what I mean?
Everybody makes money from that place.
So Ashton's
Yes, it
asking
does.
a question. Ashton's actually out in Trinidad and Tobago, and he's asking from there, how does an international con appearance work? Do they have to pay for you to show up? Do they buy your ticket and accommodations? Yeah, John, how does this work whenever you get sent out to some of these cons without spilling all of the beans? Like, how does it work?
I think ideally it would be great for us as guests to be, given accommodations. Yeah, given accommodations and things like that, especially for like an international show. So hey, anybody international that wants me out there, hey, you
heard that here first on the Venus Villains podcast. We're part of it. We're part of the entourage. We carry the art. So you bring John, you have to bring us too.
We're with the DJ.
We're with the DJ, exactly. We're with the DJ.
This is my muscle right here, guys. So like in the case of, like, I made the posting today that the Singapore Comic-Con had gotten canceled. So a lot of that stuff was all of the sort of the various things around getting me out there and all those things that didn't necessarily pan out and all that stuff, which is a bummer, but that's fine. They'll be next year.
I meet with the Inyuk and Alan Kwa.
Oh my God, that would have been amazing. You know what I mean? Like hanging out with those guys.
Get the ramen gang
together.
Together.
That would have been your chance to meet Lipway.
It would have been Lipway's chance to meet
yeah.
John Jiang. Lipway Chang, who's a phenomenal artist, is an absolute fan of yours, John. And he's
I'm humbled.
You made a blush when you showed up on the chat, dude.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God, is that really John Jiang? Like, he really looks up to you. We love Lipway Chang so much. I love that guy.
All those guys over there and Lipway, they're just super unknowingly talented folks. Do you know what I mean? Like they're unaware of how amazingly talented they are and things like that, because their work is crazy good.
Alan Kwa, In-hyuk Lee, Lipway Chang, everyone from Malaysia, like all those artists down there, they're
remember Rudy Al who did a cover for
that's right. Well, Rudy Al is from Indonesia, but yeah, I mean that Southeast Asia region is just Miko Suwayan, dude. Like Miko is from the Philippines. Like that whole area is just cultivating these amazing artists. And yeah, man, for you to miss out on
anime and the hentai. So definitely that's
why? Red? It's a family show, Red. Stop. Hold on. Well, why is John down there? John should have that one right there. I want to put myself down there. There, John should have the top right. That's the star angle right.
Is you're a power bottom?
That's it. Shut. Why? Stop. So did you guys talk about the Miles cover by any chance?
No, not yet. We only barely touched upon the salaciousness of it, the very sexy cover of the Miles.
We were just trying to recover without a host. Okay, so
he was doing fantastic. Red is doing a great job, host. You know what, Red when he does, like when he's by himself and he's with the guests, he's actually a very good host. I
wasn't I had to fly by the seat of my pants here.
I know that Red is going to do fine. I just also know that it can go sideways at any moment too.
Yes.
So
that's Mimi saw it, Red. She's like, "Oh, Red's on there by no, you jump on there right now. You go over there." You can't don't do that to John.
But the thing is, I guess when you're on the show, E-Man, or somebody else is hosting, it actually is more opportunities for Red to like derail, but it's okay.
He knows you so well.
It is my role in the show.
So I know Red's gonna get real inappropriate with this, but let's bring it up. Your very first Marvel cover, John, it dropped over the weekend. It is a fantastic looking Miles. Like, tell us about this now, man. Like, how did Marvel approach you, and the angle? We're gonna talk about the angle here, you know. But how did Marvel approach you, or how are you approached regarding this cover?
So Marvel had the idea of wanting to essentially kind of, as you guys know, I don't really do straight homages
Yeah.
and things like that, but they did reference a McFarlane piece of artwork and was like, hey, you know, we would love to maybe see a Miles like this, and you know, as you guys know, like Todd is a huge influence on my work in many regards, and I thought this was a great opportunity to take all the things that I love about like Todd's style and how he infused that into Spider-Man and bring that to Miles a little bit and still have, you know, essentially it be as much as I could, you know, have my voice in there and things like that with, you know, all of his, you know, various influences as we can see. And I think this is also a great transition to, I think, the next generation of Spider-Man. We all know that Miles is like, you know, that sort of like ushering in that next generation, that younger, youthful group of kids and things like that. So I thought this was a good piece to honor all of that, as well as take it to the next thing.
And the Young Avengers and Champions, so that
Right,
that new
right,
superhero.
right.
I am seeing that a lot of the younger crowd are really gravitating towards Miles. You know, like how our generation and the generation in front of us have gravitated to not old, but to Peter Parker. So you, by you saying that, you know, trying to capture the, you know, the younger crowd's attention, it's a big thing, and especially, and I made comment about this, the detail that went into those Jordan 1s that Miles wears, like right away, like any other comic book character, they're wearing boots, they're wearing like combat boots, or you actually, you know, you actually captured the essence of the Jordan 1s. Now, was there any copyright pushback regarding that, or is it because like there was no label, like they couldn't really say anything?
Oh,
NDA face. I was gonna say that was NDA face right there. Okay, we're not gonna touch it.
let me just say one of the things is that, you know, a lot of time McFarlane's, I'm just gonna say, we're just gonna talk about the creative aspect of this, right?
Okay.
But a lot of Todd's poses are obviously the bottoms of, you know, the feet in mid-flight, you know, hanging positions and all these things, which is what this is. But I wanted to say, okay, that's awesome, but let's also, again, how do we give this detail a bit of narrative, or a bit of, again, nodding to what this generation of folks loves, which is hype culture and all of those things, as well as take it to the next thing. So we're doing both. We're honoring, you know, that sense of Spidey, as well as now let's move it on to, you know, what we all love, which is fashion and hype culture, and
You know,
all that stuff.
XJ900s are the best thing back in the 90s.
What's that?
XJ900s. The Pro Wings.
Pro Wings.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Shut up, Red. However, if someone sneaks in some XJ900s into their art, like one of these days, I probably would want to pick it up just because, like, I know that detail and I would like this in my collection.
But there's no, I'm not saying that those are Jordan 1s or anything. I'm just saying.
They're
My
just
apologies. Yeah. They're high class sneakers for the sneaker folk who see.
Right.
I
With
gotcha.
with a somewhat recognizable tread. That's it.
Okay. NDA face. Let's move on. So, is there any future Marvel covers that you can talk about that came directly from Marvel, as like what's happened with DC? Because your cover Bs from DC are like official DC covers. They're not store exclusives, which is a huge huge thing, you know, to get your art into people who don't follow like the big online stores. You know, now kids out in the LCSs are like, hey, dude, this cover B is actually really cool. Who is this? And I was so excited for you. So are we going to get any cover Bs in the future from Marvel like DC?
No,
NDA
no.
face. ND, hello, ND, hashtag NDA face all night long.
I'm just gonna say, first, any variant cover that's a source exclusive is also an official like publisher title, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, you know, it's one of those things where, here's what I say this a lot to people at, again, talking about hype culture and things like that. Like, let's just say when the first, like, let's just say the freshest pair of Jordans come out, right? Those go out to all the shops, right?
Right.
That's your cover A.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next two colorways are covers B and C, right?
Yeah,
A little less quantities, but they still go out to everybody.
Yeah.
But now what you really want, really want are the ones that the hype culture is going to chase after, and those are the store variants. Those are the designer variants.
Yeah,
Those are the collabs and all that stuff.
You can only
You know
get
what
it
I mean?
at True. You can only get it at
Yeah,
Supreme.
exactly.
You can only
Cookies
get
and things
yeah.
Sheik's Rack for those exclusives.
That's right. You're gonna be
Flo?
standing in line camped out overnight for these store exclusives.
Uh-oh.
That's essentially what these are.
Our trusty leader in the house. What's up,
Hey.
AJ?
What's going on, guys? Sorry, had a long day and I had to take care of some stuff.
No
But I'm on
worries.
now.
Big shout out to Flo Jammer for hanging out. What's going on, Flo? Thanks for showing up, my friend.
What's going on, John?
Yo, what's up? What's up, AJ?
What's going on, man?
I was just giving E-Man a hard time.
About what?
And I feel like an extra special guest that you guys came late and things like that.
Filipino time, dude. You showed up early, man. I don't understand. Like, you should have known better.
Yeah, 8 is really 9.
AJ, are you Filipino too?
Yeah.
So funny.
Oh,
man, look at like Ashton saying you need to be
in my Daly City, so yeah, you're surrounded there.
that's true.
Asian connection now if you're like Ashton. So can you tell us a little bit more about DC? Yeah, we're talking about the variants, but we're also talking about, you know, the other colorways that everyone's getting. So now DC, you know, you've done that with Superman. You have a couple of covers. I think you did. Didn't you do a cat? No, you didn't do a Catwoman. There was a couple of other DC covers that you did.
I did a couple DC versus Vampires. I did a Dark Crisis #3. I did the Son of Kal-El here.
That one is dope, by the way. That Son of Kal-El was really, really amazing. And our resident friend, Mark from Legion of Comics, should have seen that chat. It blew up the moment that he dropped. He's like, oh my God, I can die now. Like, I should show you like what he says. He's like, I can die now. Like John Jane's doing a Superman cover. That's it. Done deal.
And I can't NDA face too much, but there's a special, again, stand in line, camp outside version of that coming very soon. That's dropping soon too. So.
Announcement.
Yeah, let me put AJ in the proper spot. AJ's got to be up there with our guest of honor, our leader and our guest of honor. They got to be up there, you know.
John, what's been going on, man? I mean, I'm sorry I came in so late, but
no, it's okay.
How have you been, man? On a personal
level?
Good. Good.
I've been good. I've been. I'm sorry. I keep giving you guys the worst, most boring, most predictable answer, but slammed and busy as always. But
that's all. That's a good
life,
thing,
though.
man.
It is. Yes, I agree.
It's a blessed life.
Everybody wants a piece of you.
That's true. That is true. and I only have so many pieces to give. But
You have so many inches.
And I'm buying them all. I've already told you I'm buying all of them, John. Every single one of them.
Thank you, man.
Are you gonna be at LA Comic Con?
I will be.
Okay, because I think there was some talk that maybe you weren't, and now you are. So
Really?
I thought I had hit you up, and you said that it wasn't going to go
yes, that's right.
through.
Yeah. We were just talking earlier about being guested at various shows and things like that, and this is one of those shows that was like there was various wranglings and things like that, but it looks like I'm in as a guest now.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I'll see you there for sure then.
yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like you're gonna be able to. I'm gonna show off. I'm gonna show this one off right here. It looks like you're gonna be in contact with the villains within the next month. You're gonna see me for sure at SF Fan Expo. I believe Red's gonna show up at the SF Fan Expo with me, and then we have AJ at LA Con. Like it's gonna.
Are you guys gonna be doing like live shows at the cons and everything like that?
We don't know how to do that.
I might. Like all you got to do is just do YouTube Live or like Instagram Live. You know.
And as you're doing this, you like lagged, but I mean that's okay though. Right?
See, that's part of
I have a casting couch somewhere in the building.
get like a lazy boy, and we'll just push that like through the convention floor, you know, and then we'll stop in front of people and start interviewing them. So, what do you think about the concept?
That's a poor man's gimbal.
I mean,
it is right.
What I'd like to have though is at some point maybe we'll have a panel and we can have you as a guest on a panel. That would be the thing to do, you know.
So you'd be like an actual panel at a show.
Yes, yeah.
Not hall like.
Let me just say something to you guys is that, you know, if we were talking earlier about how to be guested at various shows and things like that, offering up panels is a great way to do it. Okay, so offering a program is a great way to do it. Just saying.
Really?
Is the screening process, from your knowledge, is it difficult, or like can anyone have a panel?
I was trying not to put that up, Red. I really was.
Screening process? What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, like when like if you say you want to have a panel at a convention, do they say like, well, what are your credentials to have a panel?
Take a couple screenshots. Take a couple screenshots of this, and or with like John Boy Myers and you know various guests, Lipway and all that stuff.
This guy's got clout. This guy's got. You know what? You know what I'll do? I'll try to. You know what? This is what I'll do for us, AJ. I'll try to create like a presentation, like we are the C-list villains, and we know 4 people. You know,
and talk to your various creator friends, and I'm sure we can get you in touch with the right folks.
AJ has this dream of doing a panel at a show, and I'm totally with him on that one right there. I would.
Let me just say, AJ. It's right there.
Okay.
It's right there.
All right. WonderCon 2023. Yeah. There it is.
What's the first con of 2023? Like what's typically the very first one to kind of get things going?
Usually it's around WonderCon. Yeah.
WonderCon? Okay, yeah, so it's springtime.
And well, let us just say there's probably a few that are
I think Emerald's like usually a week before. Usually, it used to be a week before.
Yeah,
Emerald.
Usually, like it depends on which ones are like. There's. I think there's tons. I think there's right in the first couple weeks of January. There's probably some already. But in terms of ones that are of significant size, I think WonderCon is in Emerald City is usually right around one of the first. C2E2 used to be too.
Yeah, and the Fan Expo stuff that's all over the U.S. So they're like the old WizardCon conventions.
Yeah, it's nice because they're like satellite sites. You know, like we're gonna cover like Orlando, and then Toronto, and then West Coast. And it sucks because living here on the West Coast, I'm like, oh, well, okay, well we have like San Diego Comic-Con, but it's not that easy to get in. Like you two got in easily, and I'm just like I had to wait for like 4 hours. I'm like I can't do that. I can't.
They're the best this weekend.
I love talking to attendees, and I think I guess they are more from like the East Coast. I'm like, I'm not going to do San Diego this year. No, I might do it next year. I'm like, you guys have no idea what you guys are like getting into. Like, it's literally like, what's the best comparison to something like that? Like
it's like trying to win the lottery.
Yeah, I guess, but none of us win the lottery, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like, it's literally just like, again, maybe camping out for the new pair of Jordans, and they sold out of all the sizes right when you finally get
Oh
there
God,
and some of
that's
that.
the
But
worst, right? You get it right up, and you're like, all the size 10s are gone. Like that's like the most sought after. Those size 10s,
and
maybe
you're
a
like,
10
I'll,
and a
I'll,
half. You're
I'll
like,
take a
oh no.
4. I'll take a
Yeah,
4. Just give me the
yeah, for
4s.
real, for real. Yeah, it tripped me out because a few years ago when the Levi's store in San Francisco on Mission, when they released like those Levi's, I think Jordan 1s, man, there was people camped out there literally for like the whole week. Like people were camping out there for Monday, and I guess they were releasing it on Thursday, just to see the sneakerheads out there just congregating. Like, I'm going to be the first one to get in. I'm going to get those size 10s, and then all of a sudden flipping them for like $500 online. It's just a trip.
Man,
They
life
wait.
before
Well,
COVID.
Yeah, right.
what
Life before COVID, for real.
Life before COVID.
what stores are doing now? Like if you do them online, I mean it's different. But if you're trying to line up, because I know certain shops they still do the lining up, but if you buy it at a boutique store or anything like that, a lot of people, a lot of those shops, after you buy it, you have to wear them and walk out with them.
Oh, damn, really?
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So because you know how like if you're flipping it, you want it fresh, right? So
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
they make sure that like, okay, if you're gonna line up and buy them, you got to wear it and walk out with them.
Dude, no,
So
that's
So if you
BS, man.
so if you don't, what are they like?
you
A
can't
few
buy it.
beefy security dudes that are maybe like put your shoes on?
I'm
That's
what I'm
whack.
guessing is they make you put the shoes on and pay at the same time.
What if you got like a
Okay.
foot injury? What if you were walking around with a walking boot?
I'm sure people are trying to pull that stuff off. Like,
Yeah. What if you got gout?
I got.
Imagine how people on crutches are in the
got
line.
I got 2 air casts on. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm in a
I
wheelchair,
got a
man. I'm in a
bunion
wheelchair.
problem, man.
I mean,
Well, if you go online and there's videos of like they'll videotape people walking out of the store, and you could tell who's wearing them because they want to wear them and who's
And
trying to
who's
flip them.
gingerly like,
Yeah,
not
walking
getting
out. Yeah,
not get any dirt on these things.
yeah.
Nice.
Wow, that's a tough way to walk.
How do we do that with comics? Like, read this comic before you leave.
put a crease in it. You actually have to open it and flip through it.
Yeah.
Not white pages anymore. God damn it,
John,
That's
do you
crazy.
do New York Comic Con?
I do New York every year. At least I will if they'll let me.
I heard that like there's a lot of attendees when they compare New York and San Diego. Attendees like the ones that I know that are from California, they always say that they like New York more than San Diego.
So New York and San Diego, I believe, are two different beasts of a show. Like, they're huge shows. I think San Diego physically is still a much bigger show than New York City Comic Con, but New York City Comic Con has a lot of like real potent like comic fans and things like that, right? Comic and art
Right.
fans. Whereas San Diego Comic Con, there's just so much of a lot of everything, like the pop culture, the all the toy companies, all the huge, Hasbro's there, Legos there. Do you know what I
The
mean? Like
Hollywood aspect of it, where all the premieres and
the like San Diego Comic Con is truly a pop culture con. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not necessarily just comic books and things like that, even though it's there. And then onto itself, there's, even though there's one official artist alley, there's actually 3 or 4 sort of different disparate sort of like sections of the show that are art like alleys, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And things like that. And then there's all that other stuff in there too. So there's a huge amount of stuff that's at San Diego it's a different kind of show and that sort of thing. But whereas New York City Comic Con, you have a very heavily curated, huge artist alley that's separate from the main floor, which is then very comic book focused, like MegaCon and things like that too. So
Yeah, that
and it still has the aspects of the pop culture too.
Yeah, because you're getting all of the news out of San Diego, like all of the pop culture news, a lot
Oh
of the
yeah,
toy
yeah.
news, a lot of the anime, a lot of the movies. Like it's to a point where like DC was trying to do their own show separate from San Diego where they can announce all their stuff with fandom, right? But
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
everything goes through San Diego. Pop culture wise, everything goes through San Diego.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
a big question right now on the screen. That by Andrew Louis. Which one? Better taste?
San Diego or New York? Oh man, I'm not touching that one. Don't. NDA face.
I'm not
NDA
gonna
face.
touch that.
Give us an NDA face, you'll be all right.
They're all beautiful.
There
both
you
places.
go.
They're all
Spoken like a true public figure.
all folks are beautiful on both coasts.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
But the thing is that it's just like you said, the huge sort of announcements. That's also part of that sort of like FOMO effect. That also is very, very prevalent at San Diego and that sort of thing too. And I think for a little while too, New York City had that too. It's just I think an aspect of COVID and things like that, because I don't doubt that as things are building back up and also New York City, San Diego, a lot of these shows are going to start having a lot of these like announcement type of deals and all that stuff too. So, but yeah, they're fun and exhausting at the same time.
Yeah.
You would think that New York would be bigger since Marvel and DC were located in New York in the beginning of the whole comic age, right?
True, yeah, for sure. But at the same time, a lot of the entertainment branches of both of those companies are also out on the West Coast, right?
So I want to ask this, John. You're in our eyes, you're big time. You really are. In our eyes, you're this big mega star in the comic book world, in the variant cover world. To us, you are. What's the craziest thing that has happened to you at one of these cons regarding fans and behavior? Have we had a fan like, oh my God, it's John Giang, jump on you and just marry me now? Have you had that rock star like moment yet? I'm assuming the significant other doesn't know. I'm assuming the significant other isn't watching this.
Not privy to say things like that. Huh?
I believe that's what's going to happen here. But
I have not had one of those experiences.
No Jan groupies other than us.
I believe that for me to really hit superstar status, I need to have one of those experiences. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No.
At San Francisco Fan Expo, I guarantee you one big ass fan is gonna be doing that. Oh my
God! Let's not get it twisted. We are nerds drawing pictures. We are not part of like a band or nothing like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but that's just me. Like, maybe Cal and Alan have different experiences. I don't know, but
I can only imagine.
I don't have those
Picasso of our time, and I don't know if Picasso had groupies, but definitely no.
Back then,
maybe,
those artists
maybe,
weren't known
yeah.
to their time until afterwards.
Let-
But yeah,
Let me ask you something then, John.
I felt a very wholesome question turned into something else very quickly, and I wasn't aware of it. Like I really did. I really thought that was a genuine like.
I'm not part of that. I didn't turn it out.
there is a genuine question
Okay.
behind that. What is the craziest thing that has happened to you so far?
It's not a crazy thing, but like a funny thing that did happen was I was on a plane and so I was in first class. I'm just gonna say.
He's rolling in that Marvel money now. Look at that.
The reason why I was saying that is because there was a dude that was like just behind first class, and he like I didn't because I'm sitting and my back's to him and all stuff, and I guess I was working on some stuff, and you know, as we're starting to deplane and all that stuff, he, you know, because at that point you can kind of cross that threshold. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
and he was just like, "Hey, are you John Jang and all that stuff?" And he's like this big dude, like big burly dude. And I was like, yeah, and all that. And it turned out to be Garrett Gunn, and he was like, "Hey, we were both going out to a show, and he was like, 'Hey, I like your stuff,' and
Oh man.
and
That
I was like,
is
oh, cool. Like,
dope.
what do you do? He's like, oh, I'm a writer. And he's like, I'm Garrett Gunn. I was like, oh shit, like we should work together.
Oh, I think you should. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic. That's the guy who did Little Red Ronin, right? And Good Boy.
Yep. Little Red Ronin, Good Boy. Yep. A
Yeah.
lot of those source point titles that are
For
pretty
him to
huge.
go up to you directly, hey, we need to work together. That's pretty dope, man.
No, don't get confused. I said we should work together. He didn't say we should work together. I said we should work together.
He should
Yeah.
say yes right away. That I'm sorry, we're gonna press. He should be like, yes, yeah, I should have asked first. Oh, that's just us, just trying to push you, John. You know how we go.
Let me ask you a question, John. Then, what has been the weirdest request for a commission? Then that's what I want to know, because I've talked to artists and they've got some really weird like requests to the point like I can't repeat it here, and like they're like, no, I'm not going to draw that. There's no way I'm going to draw that.
It's not so much that I get like a lot of like weird or inappropriate requests, but I get like some things I'm just like I don't I'm like it's some of it's like just not like comic stuff or entertainment stuff. I just don't know what they're talking about, to be honest.
Oh.
So
Do they come up to you and be like, "Oh, I want you to draw this character from Dune mixed in with this character from Twilight"? Like, it's pop culture, but like you don't know anything about it.
yeah, I get that, and then I also get like, can you draw, like the cover from The Dark Knight? Because first of all, I don't do homages and things like that. You know what I mean? And they're like, can you do like the cover from The Dark Knight, and then put my wife's face on it and all that stuff on the Batman? And I'm like, I don't. Okay, I don't know.
One of your rules is to never do an homage cover at all, or
What's that?
is that one of your rules? Is just you never do an homage cover at all? Or?
I don't let me just say, Red, as you know, I don't have a lot of hard and fast rules and things like that. But I prefer not to. There's but I also don't ever say I don't have absolutes about anything, and I think that there's always going to be good enough sort of like reasons to kind of like say you can or cannot do something. So I just would have to have a really good reason to. And then if I do an homage, though, there oftentimes is a reason for it. So like for instance, I have done an homage for so we did one for Stray Dogs, right? Because all the covers for Stray Dogs were homages, right?
Right. Yeah.
I still have that.
Right, and they're homages of various horror movie covers. And I think I told this on the show last time. But this was like, oh, I'll do one because I really like the old like Lon Chaney and the old Dracula, the Universal monsters, and that era of movie posters. And I thought that I would love to do an homage of one of those, and especially because the style that we would do it in is the style of Stray Dogs, which is really different from the style of that era of movie posters.
Between your Stray Dogs and your Usagi Yojimbo, like those two were just far from your normal style, and I absolutely love that. Can we expect more of that in the future? You don't have to say what covers, but are you tinkering around with new styles for like future covers?
I'm always kind of tinkering around on a baseline of my baseline sort of style. I'm always kind of like trying different things, trying a different quality of like line or rendering and all of those things, and different compositions and things like that. But like that sort of like huge stylistic shift kind of I have to say it has to be appropriate to the book that I'm doing or the cover,
Mhm.
and that sort of thing. My question to you guys is, you guys seem to feel like, okay, it's nice to have those and they're different once in a while, but does that sort of like negate the style, right? Like,
Not at all.
how
What do
does that
you?
make you feel? Or like, how do I say? Um, does that reinforce the style, or
I
is
think.
that like, because yeah.
Well, for me personally,
And anyone who's listening, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say too.
I think that when you divert from what we're normally used to seeing, like that cover right there, that was so like different and so like different from your style that everyone wanted because it fit that book also.
Right.
If it was like if you did that for like Spider-Man or Batman, I don't know if it would have hit right, but
Right.
it hit perfect for that character, for
Yeah.
that
Right.
book.
Right.
Like you said, like if the style is going to change, it has to honor like that particular book. And like what AJ said, that brush style with Usagi Yojimbo, which is old Japanese folklore in a way, right? Like the story is based on that. It worked perfectly. Your Stray Dogs, because it's a horror, you did a horror homage. That's not your style, but that's not the style. I shouldn't say that's not your style. Don't let me tell you what your style is. Your style is your style, but that's not the style that we're used to. But it was still amazing because you gave us something different. Does it reinforce the style that you have right behind you? I don't want to say it reinforces it, but it definitely
It's
for
a
me, it's
complementary to what you already do.
yes, it really is. Like
Well, the drawback, I think, that the danger is that, like, for me, I'm all about trying different things, and if I can, like, I always take the example of, like, I bring this up a lot. People are like, especially young folks, they're like, who are you talking about? But like Madonna, right? It's like every time she put out a new album, every time she came out with like a new album, she would kind of like reinvent her look, right? She'd
Right.
reinvent her style, and I love that. I love the fact that that in a way helps you kind of stay a bit timeless, is because she's always changing her look, her persona, and a lot of times her music too, right? And but then what it is that you have to abandon what that was too, right? And our fans going to be okay with that.
I think so. And let me ask you a question though. Is it when you want to divert, I guess your current style, is it more of a personal thing, like you want to challenge yourself?
I think so. I think we're always kind of looking for, I think us as artists are always very exploratory, right?
Right.
And I think we're always kind of like exploring and trying out different things and seeing where we can take things, and how does this look, and that how does this make me feel, and all of those sorts of things. And I think that trying different things is a way to kind of express that. um, now when you're doing it as an artist and you're doing it for yourself, that's fine. And I think that, I think just now that, I don't know for sure, but if there happens to be more of a following, there's a little bit more at stake. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm not. I can't. Obviously, I can't. We're not here to like. We know nothing about
You're not my
nothing
art
here.
therapist. That's not
No,
what
no.
I'm here
But
for
what I
tonight.
was gonna say is like, how they
I
say
thought,
with
what am I paying you guys for?
I mean, John, you're fantastic. You do whatever you want. We are with you all the way.
no, but what
We
I was
love
gonna
you,
say is
John.
like,
We love you.
how like actors they take the big budget movie so that they could do the art house stuff,
This
right?
is a great example. This is a great example. Yeah, totally.
So
It's like, yeah,
I mean,
and
you could do what sells, but then you can follow your passion of whatever new art style you want to try, right?
yeah, yeah. I want to act. Okay, I want to act.
like Ashton right here. He's saying some of the things that you've done, you bang harder on, like the Transformer books, the GI Joes. He loved those, and then boom comes out Usagi, which was crazy. And what it does is it shows range. And that's what we love about you, is that you've shown us range with your style. So now we have actual Dracula asking you, going back to your style, is there any chance we'll ever get any, see some videos, and you process videos, how you achieve your final image? Has always left his head scratching. Like, how did that happen? I remember you had one video where you kind of showed us how you drew something. Can we expect any videos in the future where you kind of show us,
Absolutely not.
There you go, Jack. Sorry, Jack.
Don't want to give up your trade secrets. Hashtag NDA face.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
That's why.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
no.
not showing you.
It's not a lot of it's just not. It's not a secret. It's. I'm just very bad at like documenting stuff and providing more publicity and all of those things by showing process and things like that. You know what I mean? Like literally, and like I'm in the midst of doing the work, and all of a sudden I know it's like 4 or 5 in the morning and things like that, and it's just like I like I said, I'm poor at it. So I hopefully when I get a team around me that is like, hey, this is a great opportunity for you to like hopefully I will then be like, okay, I should probably.
I think he's trying to tell us something, fellas. I think.
Yeah, you want us to be your art rep? So we will do it.
I'll be your biggest hype man in the world, John. But you need to understand, this gentleman right here has got the world of comics in his hands. You need John Giang on your side.
I'm gonna be like, why are you hanging out at my place at 3 o'clock in the morning telling me to record stuff?
Because we know you're up. That's why. Because we know you're up. I'm not trying,
John. More
not trying to show off, but I have received like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, in the morning messages from John. Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll be on there tomorrow. Like, why are you texting me now? Oh, he's probably up drawing. And
this fresh face doesn't just happen without sleep and stuff like that.
And you're running. Your running is documented well. So see, this is why you stay young. You stay young. You stay young.
I wish I could do more.
Was there another announcement we gotta do here? Let's do something in December, maybe.
Hold on. We haven't fully locked anything down on that just yet. However, we're hoping our friend John Giang would participate in another charity event, possible.
Of course, whatever you guys got put together, let me know.
Not trying to put you on the spot right now, here live on YouTube, here on the C-List Villains podcast. We're not trying to whatsoever, John. But it's still in the works. We're not really trying to push anything just yet. But yeah, we are working on some stuff behind the scenes, you guys. Hey, so Ashton's asking, so how long typically does it take for you to do a cover? Range, hours, not have to be so specific.
So, I'll just make a comparison, right? So, like the deceased covers, when I first got those, I was given about a week and a half time to kind of like, get them done. And for the most part, that's still what I'm given, about a week and a half, week or so to, get them done. The reality of it though, is that now I have so many deadlines that like they're compacted. So like, let's just say, for instance, I went out to Cowtown this weekend in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I got there on Friday. I had to make some adjustments on a cover all Friday night. Saturday, I turned in a cover, Saturday, morning. And then on Sunday, I got started on another cover. And then Monday, I turned in another cover. So.
Oh, wow. Just to give us a timeline as to like how much work you see, you did a cover and then you fit in a con for 3 days, signing autographs and talking to nerds like us, and still
taking home remarks and commissions and things like that.
Oh my god!
When you do covers, do you focus on doing one cover, finishing that, and then doing the next, or do you go like, I have 3 different covers, do it 3 different times, let me work bit by bit on each?
I try to. My process right now is to stay on one cover and
Gotcha.
bang it out. I have had instances when I will jump from project to project. At least my feeling is that that takes me longer, because I think there's a bit of a ramp up time to kind of get into a thing, and then when I'm into the thing, I deep dive and then get out of it and stuff like that. So again, like, I have another one. I got that one cover due, and that was due on Monday, and so now I'm not being interrupted by doing interviews and everything like that. I'm now jamming on a cover that I have to get done for Friday morning and things like that. So
quit wasting this man's time, you guys. What are you guys doing? Having him come on the C-List.
We're cutting this interview now. We're cutting it.
So if there's ever a lack of quality to the work, it's you guys.
Blame
It's
us.
your
Blame the C-List villains. John said so live on this show. If there's lacking quality, it's because of us. And come and watch the show to figure out why that happens. No problem. Every Monday at 8:00.
This is the C-List villains. They are destroying the quality of the artists that they interview.
That is going to be. I'm recording that clip and I'm going to send that out. That's going to. Don't come on their show. No, please come on their show. Everyone's welcome on the show.
No. Everyone should come on the show. Everyone should come on the show.
John, is there anything else that you want to talk about? Because I know we're running short on time here. I know you mentioned to us like have an hour with you. Is there anything that you want to bring up and share with everyone before we let you go?
No, I'm just. I want to say again, and I know I sound like a broken record, but like I said, I've done a lot of the Marvel movies, and worked at Lucasfilm for a bit, and it always felt like now getting a chance to go back and work on the Marvel comics and things like that. It's a bit of a homecoming, but it's really exciting because it's a lot of different and new things too. And again, journeys are taken alone, adventures are with everybody, right? And
Ooh, I like that.
I really appreciate everyone that's been on these adventures with me, and following me, supporting me, and and now that we're on the Marvel stuff, and again, it's just the beginning, because I think there's a lot more to do and there's a lot more to see, and I hope that you're all going to stick along with me on the ride and see where it all goes, and have a bit of fun along the way too. So
I don't know if anyone had asked you, but just real quick, yes or no, has there been any discussion of doing interiors for Marvel?
Somebody asked that on the show. I saw that.
Who's Ashton?
No, I was gonna say on the show, because otherwise it'd be NDA face. I can't say a thing. But maybe, I don't know. Again, my especially because of the way that I work now and my art style being like very like fully rendered and things like that, it's the control freak in me. Like, I would want it to be executed like that, but I know that in the reality is that it can't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to pump out books like that, like, you think I don't sleep now? Like,
just make every page a splash page. We would all love that.
Oh my God, I've had dreams of that as a kid, like cinematic, and it's a cohesive story. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I think that turned out to be a Michael Bay movie, but who knows?
I'm wondering if we should just like kind of secretly one of these days just kind of connect covers without you telling anyone that you're connecting covers. Like, I think this is just me, but I think that would be kind of cool. Like, kind of save like the Superman. Unless it's already in the works. You know what? I'm gonna shut up because maybe it's already in the works. I'm gonna shut up. I don't want to give away no trade secrets here.
You just abolished the NDA face. It doesn't. Yeah.
Shut up, man. I'm not gonna.
If anyone's out there listening and anyone has any questions, definitely let me know too. So.
AJ, if it's okay, I just want to ask something real fast. Is it okay? And we haven't done this yet. I want to ask live here on YouTube, here on the C-List Villains podcast. Is it
making me nervous.
If we make John Giang an honorary villain? Would that be okay?
I thought he always was, man.
I just wanted to solidify that, making John Giang an honorary.
This is an honor.
Thank
you. Do I get like a a velvet cape or something like that?
I'll
Like,
send you a
how does
mug.
this work?
I'll send you a
I
mug.
got you a shirt. I got you a shirt.
We'll
Next
send
time
you
I
a
see
mug.
you.
I got a hat for John.
You got a hat. I'll send you an autographed, something.
But here's the real question: are there responsibilities? Because I don't know if I can handle that.
No, just look sexy.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I was gonna say. Just look pretty. That's all you need to do. You're good.
I'm
good.
trying every day. I'm trying every day. You guys are setting a very high bar. I'm trying to live up to. So I'm trying.
Well, let's
mentality. That's why.
let's let John go. I know it's getting late or it's early. I don't know. He probably has to start on a project right now. It's probably breakfast time because he's gonna be working until 4:00 in the morning tomorrow. Watch. Yeah.
That is not far from the truth.
So is there a warrior game right now? Is there a warrior game on?
Yeah. Is there a
the
warrior
other
game?
thing.
Is that why?
There is.
He's like, I gotta
Warriors
go, man.
and Sons.
Yeah, Warriors beat the Kings the other night too, man. Like,
Yeah.
Another day.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we don't want to keep John too long. John, thank you for coming on. We're going to see you live at the convention that you're going to be at. Can you just tell everyone again where we can see you?
Yep, I'll be a guest at the Grand Rapids Comic Con. I'll be a guest at the San Francisco Fan Expo, and then I'll be a guest at LA Comic Con, and that should wrap up the year for me.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. E-Man, Red, anything else you guys wanted to say before we end the show?
Just thanks for showing up, John. This we did a special show this is a special Tuesday show just for John Jiang. So thank
Special
you for
Tuesday show. That's why you guys all showed up late. Thank you.
Filipino time. We say 8 really means 8.
I was here 5 minutes before.
I was having dinner.
Red, did you got anything else you want to let our listeners know?
Yeah, exercise your prostate.
All right.
All right.
So thanks for showing up, everyone.
Good night, everyone. We'll see everyone next week. Peace out.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Sealess Villains Podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and email us at sealessvillains@gmail.com. You can also leave us a voicemail or text us at 209-975-7597. Be sure to join Luke Week's Facebook group, Rare Keys and First Appearance Comics. And you can follow us on our 2 Instagram accounts, Sealess Villains and Sealess Villains Podcast. Lastly, follow the villains on their separate IG accounts, at Luke Weeks, at C-List Villainous Red, at C-List E-Man, and I am at AJ the Comic Collector. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next episode.